A cafe conversation. It's a cafe conversation in the ladies' room. 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 A cafe conversation in the ladies' room.
Yes, it is Thursday night and ladies' night in the cafe, and we are full house tonight. Yes. I am so happy to have my friends here in the cafe with us tonight, and there's so much to talk about. So I'm so happy that you guys are here, and my girlfriend is on the phone virtually. Hey, Joy, how
Hey,
you
Sheree. Hey,
doing?
So glad to be here.
Oh, good, good. So I want to welcome everybody to the cafe. Not only my friends, but everybody out there who usually
Ain't your
joins
friend.
us for the show.
I ain't your friend. Say it right, sister,
You my
girl.
you my girl. You know and stuff. Because I can't do cafe conversations with Bella without Juicy.
That's right.
So, I gotta give Juicy her props and everything. I hope you all had a great week. And I'm only saying that because I know it was snowing and raining. It was snow outside, and I didn't like it. And I stayed home, and I couldn't go to work. I couldn't go shopping. I wanted to go to the crossings and all this kind of stuff.
I just wanted to get out so I don't eat.
Okay, I understand.
to get
I understand. Okay,
I be eating everything in my house.
let's just get it out the way. Let's just get it out the way.
God, and I lost 11 pounds. And I don't know.
It's that good
Listen.
cooking. It's that good cooking, you know?
I ain't even got to cook. I got cake,
Oh, okay.
donuts.
And this is the real stuff. See, and this is the stuff that we said we needed to talk about
That's right.
with the initiative. And this is that moment. Okay, so for those of you who don't know or join us for the first time, welcome to the cafe.
Welcome.
Okay.
Welcome.
And for those of you who do know us and who are part of our Metamorphosis Healthy Living Initiative, okay, you can find us on Facebook. We have had a long week. It's been a long week. It's been a trying week.
Yes.
And trying to maintain. I know I did it to y'all. I know I did it to y'all. Okay. The 5-minute dance breaks. Okay. How many of y'all was with me doing the electric slide last week?
I was.
Okay.
But we was laughing.
It was funny because I had to go back and watch the video after. I watched live after, and I was sliding into the walls. I'm holding on to the wall so I don't fall when I back up and everything. And I said, people are just gonna be like, oh my gosh, it was so. I had like this much space, and I'm like dancing. I'm like, okay, now back it up. Yeah, now bend
Like
and
this.
that and this and this
was
all
so
this,
funny.
and I had like this much space and everything. But it was fun. Okay, so I hope you guys have been getting in your 5-minute workouts. And as you notice, I did put in the 5-minute warm up, the stretches and everything like that. And we're going to step it up.
Okay.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Well, guess what? When you said step it up, I fell in my house. Not hit the floor, fell.
Girl.
But I missed the last step coming down the stairs.
Girl.
Oh.
And to hold myself up, I hurt my knee. So I don't know.
Hold on, because I didn't hear
I'm
nothing about
clumsy.
this before the
I
show.
told
So
you.
are you making excuses so that you don't have to do the 15-minute workout instead of 5?
I
Okay.
swear before God.
Because it can be modified. It can be modified, okay,
can
to
make
your
it to your
level.
level.
That's right. Exactly.
Well, then I will be doing the
Well,
modified. Thank you
all
very
right,
much.
we'll work
Okay.
on that.
Because
I got
my
you.
knee-
that.
My
I got
knee
you.
hurts. And
I don't want your knee
mad
to
at
hurt.
myself.
But we need to get that 15-minute workout in this weekend.
Gotcha.
All right.
I can do sit-ups.
You know, so, but yes, the initiative is going well. I'm still going to encourage everybody. Please share your stories, share your concerns. Let us know what you need support with. Let us know what you need help with. Let us know what you're doing, you know, to stay on track. Share your recipes.
Yes.
Send us pictures of your breakfast, lunch, and dinners so that we can inspire others and like that. We're all in this together, okay? There's no too fast, too slow.
That's
you know, nobody's too heavy or too thin. We're all looking to reach the same goal, and that's to live a healthy, long lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Alrighty?
Absolutely.
Yeah. There you
Amen.
go.
So, getting all the preliminaries out the way, we had a good week with Everybody Eat again.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
we did.
And we just want those of you who don't know what Everybody Eats is, we are a food service, emergency food service for families who are just suffering from hard times. You know, we started with families that were suffering from COVID-19 and the effects of COVID-19, and now it's actually blown up. It's grown to help people not only with situations from COVID, people who have lost their jobs, people who have been
Fires.
fires. Right.
Oh,
You
God.
know, and that's how we met.
That's
you know?
exactly
and,
how we met.
You
Fires.
know, people who are just suffering from hard times
Absolutely.
right now.
Yeah,
You know,
there's
and,
so
and
many
people
out
who
there.
are
There's
sick.
a lot.
There
There's
are
a lot. There's a lot. And
so
mental
many
health.
people.
Mental health.
Exactly.
It really
Oh,
should be
that's
an
really
issue
big.
because a lot of people are just suffering mentally.
They are.
Absolutely.
Being home, confined.
Yeah.
No family members. We are in a
Exactly.
really. I know we're in a pandemic, but we're also in a mental pandemic.
That's
also.
what I was heard
Yeah,
on the news, that
definitely.
Yes.
the second part of the pandemic is the mental.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And that
And
takes a
kids
big. That
involved,
takes a
too.
bigger toll.
Kids.
I think personally, it takes a bigger toll because mentally, your mind has to be straight in order to have the strength to be able to overcome.
Absolutely.
So we put prayer.
Absolutely.
Prayer is in there.
That's all it is.
Amen.
And
Yes.
That's right.
we're trying to, part of what we do is we try to make sure that we hit everybody. So, you know, many of our clients now are clients who are in transition from being homeless to going to their homes.
Right.
You know, so we're branching out. We try to keep tabs on our elderly clients.
Absolutely.
Yep.
You know,
Yes.
because a
Yes.
lot of them don't have families out
Nope.
here,
Nope.
and
They're
you
by
know,
themselves.
things are happening and no
Yeah.
one knows.
No one
you know,
knows.
so it's just a phone call, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a phone call. Knock on the door. Say, hey, I just want to check in. Do you have something to eat?
Right.
Are you warm? Is your heat on? Do you have water?
Yes.
You know what I'm
Absolutely,
saying?
yeah.
Do you have
Because you don't
food?
have to take care of them, but you can get someone to help them.
Absolutely.
help them.
Resources.
Absolutely.
I believe in resources.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we can-
Resources.
And with the
You know?
pandemic and everybody being isolated at this time, it's just common human decency to check
Yes.
on those around us
Absolutely.
too, because you don't know if they're alone.
Yes.
You know, with so many
Yeah.
people passing, I see it all the time.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, they're left alone
Right.
when they had a partner or they had a mother and they were
Yeah.
caregivers and they were
That
taking
gives me
care of
chills.
people.
It's true.
And now there's, what do I do?
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's such a transition
Yeah.
in the life we live in today.
Yeah.
With this pandemic, it's just a whole new
New way of
world.
living.
It's
a
a
new
whole
way
new
of living.
life.
It's a new way of living.
Exactly.
This is gonna be it.
And not
And
the
it's-
Aladdin whole new
No,
world either,
no,
'cause
we're
there's
not on that magic
carpet.
carpet.
Okay? There's no magic carpet.
No,
No.
there's no genie coming
Listen,
out.
if the genie was
Exactly.
here and say,
Yeah.
please take away this pandemic so
Yes,
we can go back.
exactly,
But it
yes.
also
So-
makes us appreciate what we
Yeah.
had too.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes,
So I'm glad you made that statement because that's going to lead us into our conversation tonight. The title of our show tonight is called Expect the Unexpected. Okay? And tonight we're going to talk about literally how life throws us curveballs. And we know life is going to throw us curveballs, but many cases we still don't prepare for those curveballs.
That's
Absolutely.
correct. That's correct.
You know,
That's
and
correct.
whether it's we don't prepare because we don't believe it's going to happen to us,
But
or
you just never know.
we just may not be able to afford it. We
Correct.
can't happen, and a lot of times it's simply because people don't have the information.
Correct.
You know,
Yep.
and when you don't have the information, I can't.
Can't prepare.
Right, you can't
Right.
prepare if you don't have the information. So we're going to get into our conversation tonight about
Yes.
Okay.
expecting
All
the
right, all right.
unexpected.
Absolutely.
Okay, and I would like to actually
Sip your tea, girl.
I want to introduce our guest tonight before we move forward. First, virtually, we have my friend of friends, lifetime. How many years? 32?
Yeah.
Since Amadi was
At
newborn.
Wow.
32 years. This is my
That's
best friend for
awesome.
32
That's
years.
awesome.
Yes.
Cynthia Campbell, certified benefits advisor, Brownstone Benefits Group principal. Welcome,
Yes.
girlfriend.
Welcome.
Welcome. You know, and to my left, Miss Kimberly Anderson, UPS associate and notary. Welcome, welcome, Kimberly.
You gotta help me
Hey.
because I am a notary, but for New York.
Okay.
So I just called them, and they gave me everything to become a notary here. I'll let you know what I need.
Okay.
So we can cheat.
Alrighty.
Yes.
I'm joking.
We won't say nothing. We won't say
No, we won't
nothing.
say
Okay. And to my right, Mr. Marcelino Morales, family service. Give me your full title.
I am a family service counselor.
There he
Yes.
is. Family
right.
service
Let me write that
counselor.
down.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
2 claps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, ladies,
Um,
for inviting me into the ladies' cafe.
Well, here's the thing.
No, we invite-
Ladies
guys,
and a few good gentlemen.
Yes,
How about that?
absolutely,
All right.
absolutely,
Husband's been here.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We do
And another
have
friend.
quite a few guys
Yeah.
who are in the cafe
need you.
with
We
us
need
now.
you.
That. I like
We
that.
need
you
Okay.
men.
It makes me feel elite.
Very special.
Definitely.
Well, the one thing I do want to say is like cafe conversations is not just for the ladies, okay? Because see, we can't exist in this world without our men.
That's right.
Correct.
You know, so the whole
That's
point
right.
is for us to be able to open up the lines of
Coexist.
communications, right? So we
Absolutely,
can
yes.
coexist and have better relationships,
Yes.
functional relationships,
Yes.
functional marriages, functional homes. You know,
Absolutely.
raise
Absolutely.
functional children.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. That's very
Absolutely.
important.
sometimes I think our children are crazy. Like you know,
And
but
functional friendships.
there you go.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Without that old other stuff.
Yeah. You know, so I absolutely think it's important to get the feedback of our guys because I don't know anything about being a guy. I'm a woman. You know what I'm saying? But I want to learn as much as I possibly can about the guys so I can understand what's going on in their heads. 'Cause, you know,
Absolutely.
sometimes I'm confused. I tell you.
I hear it. I understand.
You know, so but first and foremost we're gonna start with Miss Campbell, okay, and
Okay.
Joy, I want to just put some information out there just to kind of give you guys a little bit of background on where we're going tonight. And this information I looked it up and I got it off of America's Health Rankings.org. Okay, this is their 2020 report on the health situation in the United States. Okay, in the first half of 2019, over 27% of the Hispanic population in the United States did not have health insurance, up from a historical low of 19.3% in 2016. In 2019, the national average was 9.5%, and Asian Americans had the lowest rate at 7.4%. White Americans also had a below average rate of 9.8, whereas 13.6% of Black Americans had no health insurance. Okay? The proportion of uninsured women reached a low in 2016, but has increased since then from 6.8 to 12.8% as of 2018.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
Which
High.
means
Right.
that's a lot of people who do not have medical insurance.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Particularly women.
Yes.
And the only
Who had
reason-
households,
Yes.
Exactly.
single family households.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, and considering that right now women have been the ones who have been put out of their jobs primarily, since COVID hit the way it has, they are now taking on the roles of teachers and actually heads of households,
Right.
because many of them have lost spouses and stuff. And I'm not taking, my guys, please understand, I'm not taking anything away from you.
Right.
Okay, I'm just, because we are a women's empowerment initiative, I do tend to give you information that is
Geared towards women.
geared towards women, because the whole point is to empower our women to be able to sustain what our men are doing, so that
Absolutely.
we all can live and function together.
Correct.
Absolutely.
So I want to
Absolutely.
be able to open this up with Cynthia just giving us a little bit of background on what it is you do, and how what you do, what you've seen in the community, and how it affects the community thus far.
Sure, sure, no problem. So first, I just want to start and clarify, because I've heard Sharice knows me as Joy.
I was
Right.
gonna say.
Friends and family call me Joy. That's my middle name. So I leave it up to you. But I do. Cynthia is my, I guess, business or professional name.
Okay.
Having said that, just clarify. So Sharice is not crazy. She's not talking about two, three different
Right.
people.
I was gonna say something.
I am one and the same. But what I've seen, the numbers and the figures that you've given are spot on. But I know, if that's based on 2018 data and information, now as we roll into 2021, those numbers may not have been updated, but they have most certainly increased.
Mm.
And when we talk about the Black and Brown community, not just from a COVID pandemic perspective, you
Mm-hmm.
know, our communities have been hit the hardest.
Correct.
And
Yes.
so with this, add into it now COVID, um, and I've said to my daughter, you don't think about it, or at least when this first started, we're almost a year into this pandemic. And when it first started, you're going about your normal routine and you go to do something, like you run into the grocery store, kind of like you always do. And you get there and there's a line that's wrapped around the grocery store. And it's like,
Yes.
what's going on?
Yeah.
You know, oh, the pandemic. So our communities have just been hit so much harder, and largely because in Black and Brown communities, it's single family, single parent households headed by women.
Mm-hmm.
Women are disproportionately in Black and Brown communities being laid off from their jobs. So if you're laid off from your job, you don't have access to a health care plan anymore, and then you have children that you're relying on also. So now what happens to your children too?
Right.
The tentacles of this thing are far reaching. And when
Mm-hmm.
we talk about, the what I'm seeing in the healthcare field is most definitely the loss of health insurance plans and benefits,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
largely, people not knowing what benefits are available to them. So, I thank God for the Obamacare plans, Affordable Care Act. It has been a godsend for many people. It's allowed people greater access to care. And it's not perfect, it's
Mm-hmm.
not a perfect system, but at least it gives the opportunity for the healthcare benefits, because in this country, we don't have free healthcare, you
Correct.
know.
Right.
That's
So
correct.
there are some things that I feel personally, and being a professional in this field, that they could improve. There's definitely work to be done and room for improvement, but it is there and it's available. So there are many different options when we talk about, the healthcare plans and what's available to people, but it's largely making sure, especially our people, the Black and Brown communities, are aware of that, you know. But there are other things that come into play with that, socioeconomic status. So it's a lot of different moving parts and pieces. But what I love about insurance, and you can really take any product in the insurance market, it can always be tailored specifically to that individual or their family to help meet their needs. And some protection is always better than nothing.
None.
Right.
Correct.
I
Absolutely.
agree
I
with
agree.
that.
I agree with
Yes,
Yes.
that. Yeah.
definitely. Yes.
Hmm.
Definitely better than nothing. So let me take a step back too and give you guys, so yes, Sharice and I are friends for 30. something years
Right.
at this point. I, I don't want to give the exact number because I don't want to give away our age, you know.
I thought she was only 29.
There you go. There you go. We'll take
I'll take it.
that. But so I am the sole proprietor owner of Brownstone Benefits Group. In business now for over 20 years.
Nice.
We
Congratulations.
serve.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Wonderful.
And primarily, healthcare products is the main focus, and the senior market is my niche market. So I do serve just about the whole eastern um, coastline, from
Okay.
Philadelphia down, from excuse me, PA. I'm in Philly, from Pennsylvania down to Florida, then across to Alabama, Tennessee, Texas, and Arizona.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Nice.
absolutely love what it is that I do. Love helping people. Love being a resource, especially for our people, because tend to find that programs that can benefit um, us, especially, and who need it more than anything, either don't know about the programs, don't know where to go, don't know how to access it, and people just need, at the very least, that stepping stone, someone to help guide them, you know, to give them, to just put them in the right direction so that ultimately we can all live the dreams that we want, which is to just, take care of our families, live better, live healthier, and just to have access to that care and those resources. So that's my objective and my goal. When I meet an individual or a family,
Mhm.
um, I'll tell anybody, if I can't help you, I'm not going to hurt you. No one will ever be worse off for having met me.
Right.
I
Right.
do everything that I can to make sure that, people get the resources and the access to care that they need and deserve.
So
Absolutely.
families do talk to you as a family, meaning educating the children to know that they need health care when they become of age to have health care on their
Oh,
own. And
absolutely. I invite that,
mm-hmm.
um, to have the children involved, and now especially because, you know our seniors, the senior market that I is my niche market.
Right.
They're shut in, they're isolated,
Right.
but
Right.
their families, because they're primarily working from home, they have the accessibility. They have more time now to be a greater input, in that. So, if someone needs me to talk to their son or daughter or granddaughter, and a lot, we're using a lot more technology.
Right.
A lot of these seniors don't have access to it, they don't know how to use it, or
That's
they're not
Hmm.
comfortable and proficient with it.
yes.
Right.
So
Correct. Yeah.
when they say,
Absolutely.
yeah, I need, can you talk to my daughter, can you talk to my son, my granddaughter has set up my email address.
Right.
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
Okay.
you
Good.
know you name the time and place, I'm more than happy to have that conversation with them and bring them into it so that they have a better understanding of what's available, because there can be an extended resource for their loved one.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That's
And
awesome.
educating the family also helps them be more aware and proactive and taking care of the seniors too.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Because
Oh,
they're going to get to
definitely.
that age where sometimes they will forget or not remember, like you said, with technology. So
Yeah.
that's great to reach out to their next of kin or their loved ones to make sure that they're proactive. It also helps them be a little bit more accountable too for them.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
Oh
That's
yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
definitely.
And I think it's a lovely idea
Hmm.
that they have to, be involved simply because, again, going back to research, I love statistics.
Bring on the
Notice I
research,
leave
girl.
that up
Come
to
on.
her.
You noticed that, right?
Going back to the research, as of 2019, okay, the end of 2019, the age group with the most uninsured people are those that are between the ages of 26 and 34.
Yes.
Wow.
That's
Hmm.
our kids.
That's
Correct.
right.
That's
Yes,
correct.
yes.
That's
That's
correct.
that's our kids. Those are our kids that are graduating out of college.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the
Hmm.
ones that are just getting out there in the world. My son a year ago just had a baby and he
Hmm.
just turned 30, 31. You know, um but that's that millennia age.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And
Right.
it's funny because a lot of times when you have conversations with them, you don't hear them talk about, oh, I got life insurance and I got this insurance.
No.
And I
They
got
haven't
that
even- they're
insurance.
not even
But-
thinking about
but
that at
they-
this age.
But they've invested in stocks. And they've invested in, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some of them,
they,
yes.
They definitely think of the longevity of their money, you know, and how it could work for them in the future. But there are bits and pieces that kind of get left out. So the part I like about what you do, Cynthia, in working with that older population and their families and their children having to get involved is because it now makes them think like, well, maybe I need to do this for myself and my own
Absolutely.
kids.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
You
where
know,
I
yeah.
am now. My
It kind of
baby.
piques the family if they're involved with the seniors, because now they need to get themselves. They don't want to see their senior in a position, and then what about me? Where
Yeah.
am I going to be in the
Exactly.
same position?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the
Yeah.
education part and the proactiveness of just
Oh yeah.
letting them know that there is help out there, because there's feel like it's helpless.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome what that you're doing. So, you know, we can see a progress, and we
Yeah.
can see
Yeah.
our seniors.
I think
and
I'm gonna
our
have to call you,
families.
Cynthia.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm saying, 'cause, you know, my son is 26, so
Yeah.
he's coming off of my husband's insurance.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's
Right.
gonna need
Right.
insurance.
And that's the other
And when you
piece.
talked
Absolutely.
about longevity of money with the young people, there are some communities or some states that do not take care of their people very well, meaning they have very low incomes.
That's
Absolutely.
So
Mm-hmm.
they don't get to look at the longevity of their money the
Correct.
same way. So they
Right.
only think about the now,
Absolutely.
and that's a problem because, for instance, myself bringing my kids here to live from New York, and my daughter getting work here, the work wasn't,
Nothing like
nothing
New
like
York.
No,
New York, right?
absolutely.
So
It's
she
nothing
did
like New
pretty
York.
well, but then she had 3 kids.
Yeah.
So now I have life insurance on all her kids, her, my son, because they can't afford to get life insurance.
Right.
Yes, because they're combating the minimum wage as
now-
well, because
Exactly.
affordability
But
is
now,
a big
with
thing.
this-
Affordability,
with this
absolutely,
pandemic,
Yeah.
that's going to be a problem too. Because I
Absolutely.
pay for everything in that direction,
Plus,
but they got to pick
But
up.
you
that
still-
demographic also has that having just come out of that demographic.
Yeah, oh, you
'Cause
just came
40.
out.
I'll be 40 this year.
Okay.
So I'm in that transition
Yes.
Right.
from where you kind of that age category. I don't know if you agree, but there's an untouchability.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm young. I got this. You know,
And it's not
and
going to
it's-
affect me.
No,
Yeah, it's not going to
nothing's gonna
affect
happen.
me.
Right.
I have
got-
years to plan.
Yes.
Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. I mean, I know personally, my mom was very much like savings, life insurance,
Yes.
medical insurance. You have to have
Have
that in
those.
order.
401k,
So 401k.
yes.
She was
Yes.
very big on that. She
Yes.
make smart choices. Make smarter
Yes.
choices than
Yes.
I did. I'm teaching you so
Yes.
that you don't have to go through what I went through. And that's how my parent raised me.
Yeah.
But even then, you have all the tools, but you're like, I'm young. I don't need to worry about this right now. There's
Right.
That's
I
what I'm
have
couple
going
more
through.
years.
That's what I'm
Like,
I have time.
Yeah.
And what we don't realize is we have today,
Yeah.
Exactly.
this minute.
That's right.
Exactly.
Tomorrow's different.
And
tomorrow's
and I
not
think
promised.
this pandemic really shake that.
Yes.
It really has
Yes.
opened our eyes to
Yes,
say,
it does.
well, you never know.
You don't.
And I think that
Absolutely.
what she's doing is amazing because it is going to have those conversations like we're having today.
Right.
It's important to have those conversations, especially with minorities. We don't like to talk about a lot of things.
Exactly.
We're going to talk about, oh, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm glad. We don't talk about the hard conversations.
Yes.
We,
We
don't
don't
want to
talk
deal
about the
with
fact
death.
that
We don't
we
want to
don't
deal with
have.
illness.
Right.
No.
No,
We're not going to talk
yeah,
about that right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be so
What we
negative.
cooking?
Yeah.
Don't be so
What we
negative.
cooking?
What we cooking? Yeah, exactly.
Put on the stove, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
See, he's
Yes.
with me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, Cynthia, I thank you for that. And
No
I'm
problem.
glad you were able to clear that up for us. One last thing I want to ask, and then I want to move on to
Kimberly.
Kimberly. I'm so sorry.
No love. No
I'm
love.
so sorry. That's why I'm here. I want to move on to Kimberly because I think it's important for us to talk about our legal protection.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh,
And
definitely.
putting, our paperwork in place
Yes.
so that
Yes.
when something
Yeah.
happens, the kids are not like, so wait, she did say she wrote something
thing,
that
yeah,
she was
exactly.
leaving me something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We've
But,
been there too.
My last question to you, Cynthia, is if someone wants to get in touch with you and discuss, their options for whatever type of insurance, whether it's medical,
Mm-hmm.
life, whatever your products are available, how can they get in touch with you?
Oh, awesome. Best way to reach me is, directly by cell phone. It's always attached to my hip or not too far. Not too
Yeah, I
far
got like
from.
three of those.
Yeah. We're sleeping with them
It's
lately.
very close at all times. So my phone number, direct cell number is 215
Mm-hmm.
749 2681. So I'll repeat it, 215 749 2681. So text messages are fine. Phone calls are good. And also by email, brownstonebenefitsgroup@gmail.com.
All right, got
That's
it.
beautiful.
Ooh,
We
All
got it.
right.
Thank you.
Brownstonebenefitsgroup at
Thank you.
thank
gmail.com.
you.
That was very
And I just
enlightening. Like
just
it
want to
was
leave you
like,
guys with
you know,
two other thoughts.
Okay.
Life insurance is a product that is passed down to your beneficiaries tax free.
that's correct.
So
Nice.
it's
That I do
not
know.
about leaving your family, making sure that they're rich and well off, or they can go buy the boat that they refuse to get for
Right,
you.
right.
You know, when you're
Yeah,
here,
that's what my kids
it's
think.
yeah, okay, absolutely. It's literally about making the hardest day of somebody's life that much easier, because there are so many little decisions that have to be made along the way,
Absolutely.
but they all have to be made right now.
Right
You
now.
don't have a
Correct.
Yep.
chance to
That's right.
think
You
about it.
don't.
You don't have a chance to really process and internalize
You don't.
everything that's going
Oh
on.
my God.
Um,
We don't.
so
You
it's not about a get rich quick scheme, but it's literally about being able to make those difficult moments
Mm-hmm.
that much easier.
That
Thank
So
you.
is
Thank
that's the
you.
beautifully
gift.
put.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you
Thank you.
so much.
That was enlightening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely calling
much
you.
needed. And
Yes.
much,
Much
needed.
needed,
Because,
yes.
like I
Definitely
said,
much
so
needed.
many people just don't know.
No.
No.
They just
Hmm.
don't know and
Hmm.
don't want to ask because they're
Right,
afraid
right.
if they
And just
ask, then it's gonna kind of be like, well, what do you mean you don't know about that?
Why you
Right.
trying to
right,
kill me?
Yeah,
right,
right. Well, that too.
Why you trying to take all
You
my
know,
money?
right.
Why you trying to
And
take all
just
my money?
life insurance and health insurance is not one size fits all.
Right.
Right.
That's
It's
right.
not one size fits all. It's about what's best for you
Mm-hmm.
and what you need to accomplish.
Right.
So,
Correct.
within a household, a husband and wife,
Right.
the needs can be totally different,
Right.
but
Yes.
we can cater that to those individual needs.
All right.
Absolutely.
So
Thank
don't
you,
be afraid to
girl.
talk about it.
Nope.
There you go.
We're definitely talking tonight.
Thank you.
Yes.
We talking about it
Like,
tonight.
honey, I'm coming home. We need to have a conversation.
Yes, we're definitely
All
having
right.
a conversation.
We're having a
I
conversation.
buried enough people. I got you.
So, Kimberly,
Yes.
you are a UPS associate and notary.
Yes. I am.
Okay.
I'm actually in the process of waiting for my test. No thanks to COVID.
That's okay.
They
You already
haven't-
passed in my book.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did. I did.
Yes,
I have my
okay.
certificate already.
Hats off
But
to you.
I came back in 2018. I was in Florida, and I was working for the internal auditors. And awesome job. But came back to side. We lifted my whole family and just came back to PA to be with my grandson. Didn't want that long distance, and had an opportunity to take a position as a collector in UPS. Awesome job. It has its benefits, but I wanted something a little bit more. Had an opportunity in Florida for many years to be in the community. I was involved in a lot of things there. And I found that in PA, I don't feel like I'm making an impact.
Okay.
In Florida, I had the opportunity to do food pantries and food drives and a lot of things when my children were younger. And I like being that person. And now that all the kids are gone, and it's just me,
Yes.
where do I go?
Right.
Where do I go? As a single mom, all my
Right.
children are gone. They left the
Right.
nest. One
Yeah.
came back, but we don't want to talk about him.
We
And
love you.
yes, I'll see you tonight. But I said, I need to make an impact. And I chose notary because there are so many things that really need mobility.
Right.
People are in a pandemic right now.
Yes.
They cannot get things signed in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
I've
Right.
gotten many calls.
yes. And I want to be that to go person. I want to be there when you need that paper signed. I want to be there when you're in the hospital and you need to make a decision.
Yeah.
Compassionate. So I want to be that person to say, okay, we need this taken care of. Let's get it done. I don't want you sitting on a yellow pages. We don't have those days. Those are back in my day. So we're not gonna
days
say
too.
my
My
age.
days too.
And
I
you're
still
looking
have it
on
at home.
Google and who can I call and who can I call. So my business is going to be 24 hours, 7
Oh,
days a
nice.
week.
Nice.
Yes.
7 days a week. Dedication is everything to me. I'm keeping my UPS job because it's my stability, right? Everything in life needs a stability in life. But I'm branching off to be able to give back to my community, to go to the schools, to find out what needs to be taken care as far as paperwork, making sure that those parent teachers forms and all type of forms that are not taken care of coming out to the community.
Yeah.
They don't have to worry about, oh, well, the notary doesn't come on the third week of the month.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That holds up so many things. We need to get more proactive. Gives me opportunity to be back into the community and give back to my people.
That's
People
what happened
need
with
you.
me. I was 30 plus years in healthcare, and I worked in a private office, and we used to have to go out to get notaries.
Yes.
So I became a notary in New York. So I was notarizing all the doctor's papers.
Yes.
Everybody in the office, whatever notary I had to do, I did it for them. And the hospital, Lenox Hill, across the street, people used to come over to me so I could notarize.
Right.
I, again, like to help the community. I charged no one. I did them free.
Yep.
But you do charge for notaries.
Yes, there is a charge.
If you plan
Yeah.
to do it, as
Yes.
a business, I
As a
understand
business.
100%.
But it gives you a freedom, and I'm
Yes.
all about freedom.
Yes.
I'm tied down to a computer for 8 hours.
Yeah.
I need a freedom part of my life. This is a freedom. This is giving back to my community.
Yeah.
And this is giving an opportunity to grow. I'm all about growth.
Yes.
Right? So we're here, we're women, right? And that
Absolutely.
means that even at 50, we can still it doesn't stop then. You just
No, it
keep
doesn't.
going.
Right.
I mean, and your role in the community is gonna be extremely important. Okay, because like you said, there's gonna be that moment in someone's life. Again, expect the unexpected.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm
Right,
saying? There's gonna be
right.
that moment in someone's life where if they are in the hospital
Yes.
and they need power of
Attorney.
attorney,
Yeah.
so that
Power
they
of
can make a
attorney.
decision about their
Beneficiary.
loved
There's
one.
so many
You,
forms
you
that you have
understand
to
what I'm
sign.
saying? Or let's put it like this: paperwork. Your son or daughter accidentally gets caught up in some legal situation.
Absolutely.
You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying?
Mortgages-
And now
mortgages
in the
and
middle of the
apartments.
night,
Yep.
you're trying to figure out how to get this paperwork done so that you can get a bail bond, so that you can get your child this and that. You know what I'm saying? Or
Get your baby home.
right,
Exactly.
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 Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
or God forbid there's a death in the family.
Exactly.
And you now have to take care of those last
Minute.
minute
things, yeah.
expenses. You know?
So, yeah.
And you're that person that, you're gonna be our best friend in the middle of the night.
That's
Right.
right. That's
You know
what I
what I'm
plan
saying?
to
And I
be.
love
That
that.
Yeah.
middle
I
of the
love
night.
Exactly. You're gonna be that call, be like, hey
24
girl,
hours,
let me
7
tell
days
you.
I'm gonna
what's
need you
going
to
on.
come over
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
I'm
We had
on
a
the way.
situation. I
I was
need.
like,
I need.
okay. You know what I'm saying?
So
But
I kind of did. I'm investing in myself because I always believe in investment. Got myself a brand new car.
Oh, girl, go ahead.
All right.
And I
So that
said,
means you can make it to the
it's
appointments.
time. It's time.
Congratulations.
It's time to upgrade. It's time to be independent.
Yeah.
okay.
And it's time to come out there and let the community know that I'm here for them.
Good for you.
24
Well,
hours a day,
definitely.
7 days a week.
I work with you,
Well-
girl.
Well, you
All right.
deserve.
I mean, here's the thing. I also think, it's a good thing because we're gonna move over to Marcelino, but it's a good thing that you will be available because we need to talk and encourage people
Yes.
Absolutely.
to do pre-planning for
Mm-hmm.
those
Mhm.
moments.
Yes,
Yeah.
You
ma'am.
know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And I'm almost sure if we was to take a poll and go, how many people don't have a will? How
Right.
many
Correct.
people do
Right.
have not done estate planning? How many people know what estate planning
Is.
is?
Correct.
Right.
You
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying? There'll be a lot of people that
Hold on,
I
I'm
have
gonna be
to. I
right
have
back.
to. I
I'm
have to
looking.
tell you.
Right.
My
Well, you know
husband's
what?
mother.
The misconception is that people think you have to have, you have to be rich in order to have or need a
Exactly.
Right.
will.
Yes,
Exactly.
and
And
you
Yeah,
that is
don't.
you don't.
so not true.
No.
Right.
Right.
You
It
know,
isn't.
not true at all.
No, there's
Yeah.
so
Um,
much more to it than just
yeah,
finance.
absolutely.
And to
So,
the
Kimberly, kudos to you
thank
for
you.
being,
I'm looking
24-hour
forward.
mobile service, because I know when
Yes.
I first moved to Philly, um, I remember scrambling around trying to find a notary, and and
Yes.
Oh.
you find an office here and they're working
Mm-hmm.
out of somebody's
Trying to
office,
get the
but
house
now it's after
bought.
office hours. So what do you do?
Yeah. Because banks
So
have them
kudos
too.
to you. That's
But
awesome.
Thank
banks,
you, thank you,
banks
thank you,
close at
thank you.
3 o'clock, 5 o'clock. They close.
Yeah, and
You know?
exactly, and that's what, and that's
banks
where.
now with COVID, you
Go-
have to have an appointment.
Yeah,
Yes.
So
exactly.
I'll see you next
and I
Tuesday
don't want to be
because
that. I want
Yeah.
to know. I want
Yeah.
the community to know that I'm here
Yeah.
and that we're going to
Yeah.
get this taken care of. And
Right.
their worries, because everybody worries.
Yeah.
We're like, oh my God, I got a time frame. Most of the
Yes.
time,
Mhm.
majority of the
Yes.
paperwork is on a time
Is
frame,
on a time
and they
frame.
have to be signed, and they need a notary. So to give them that availability that they don't have to make an appointment.
Yeah.
My
That's
Yeah.
home-
exactly why I did it.
Exactly, and my
Yeah.
home
Why I did
has
it.
wheelchair accessibility, right? So I'm gonna operate also from my office. I created an office for myself,
Nice.
investment,
Awesome.
right? Because you
Awesome.
have to
Awesome.
invest to be able to be successful, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So they can show up at my house at any time. I had a camera right there just in case anybody. I'm like, where are you?
Yeah.
But I got 2 pit bulls, so not to worry.
Okay, there you go.
Got a lot of protection going on. But
Because they out there.
yes,
Yeah.
yes they are.
Absolutely.
But safe, precautious, but giving and availability. That's where.
Okay.
That's
Amen.
right.
I'm gonna call you
Amen.
Johnny on the
Amen.
spot, Kimberly.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Marcelino,
Yes.
and I guess people probably run from you the most when you tell them what
I
you
agree.
do.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna
Give
let you
him the
take
floor.
the floor. I'm just gonna let you take the floor and
Okay.
you tell us what we need to know.
Okay, so I am a family service counselor. I work for both Prospect and Laurelwood cemeteries located in East Stroudsburg. I joined this business last year.
Okay.
I just a little backstory on me. I was doing retail management. It was slave for it. I was there all day, every day. And as I said, I'm turning 40 this year. And last year we suffered a loss. My father-in-law passed. I've done a lot of dealing with this in terms of planning for family members who have passed. We had an aunt and my cousin who were both in the hospital at the same time, and they didn't know that each other passed. So I've had the unfortunate experience of dealing with death at an early age, as of 9 years old. So it's always been there that I've been in this track. When I joined this field, I was very nervous because you're set in your own ways. I'm just like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. My fiance was my champion. You got this. I got your back 100%. When we lost my father-in-law last year, during this pandemic, it changed a lot of my thought process. Because we were in the middle of a pandemic. Hospitals were shut down. It was so crazy. There were so many last minute
no
decisions, no visitors. And it kind of opened my eyes to a lot of different things. And it made me evaluate me as a person. What am I doing? Where am I going?
Gotcha.
And I think that that's what led me here.
Okay.
An opportunity as I'm turning 40 to, one, have a career instead of a job. That's number one.
Absolutely.
And number two, feed my soul at the same time.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So how can I sustain my life, but also make a difference in a person's life?
Absolutely.
And that's why I entered this business.
Okay.
So essentially what we do is we're in the business of, yes, it's a cemetery, but what we like to do is education. We educate families on the benefits of pre planning in the event of a loss. When somebody loses somebody, there is so much that they go through.
Yeah.
Emotionally.
Let's just talk about emotional.
Yes.
You know, there's so much burden.
Yeah.
There's so many things that need to be done when somebody loses somebody.
Absolutely.
Is there a will? What are their wishes? You know, and in this business, in our field, conversations don't happen. Usually the conversations happen when we suffer a loss. We don't sit and have conversations about, okay, what are we going to do? What are your wishes? What do you want to do? I know personally for me, when I was younger, my mom would talk to me, and I was like,
We couldn't even
no, no,
have
no.
a conversation.
No, I don't.
That was,
You're not going anywhere.
yes, that is absolutely
Again,
correct.
because I lost my dad. We lost our dad at, I was 9 years old. Kim was 20.
Yes.
So
Right.
I was very young. So my mom is my rock. And the thought of losing her, no, we
Yeah.
can't have that conversation.
Yeah.
But now as an adult, I understand how important it is to have the conversation.
Gotcha.
And it's important to have the conversations with your family members to know what their wishes are.
Yeah.
You know, we can assume all we want, but if we don't have those documents or the conversation at least, then how are we going to know? I mean, just going back to my father-in-law, we didn't know cremation or burial. There was a point where we didn't know his mother's maiden name. You know, there's so many things with a death certificate.
Yeah.
There's 72 hours you have to collect that information. And most people don't know that.
And they
Most
don't know
Right.
cost.
They don't know the
Exactly.
cost.
They don't know
They
cost.
don't know that you
Exactly.
need date of birth, mother's maiden name, social security numbers.
Yeah.
There's so much. So we actually do a lot of education, and that's what my goal is,
Okay.
to help families learn the benefits of pre-planning.
Okay.
We create so many tools. When I meet with a family, I give them this is a family estate planning guide.
Okay.
This
that's
helps
nice.
them what we call get our ducks in a row.
Okay.
It's true.
Can't be
It
any
is.
quicker than that.
It's the easiest way to explain is get your ducks in a row.
Exactly.
So as we go through our book, we give a mission statement and letting them know that this tool will help relieve any burden on the family members we leave behind.
Okay.
It gives us an opportunity to advise and educate. We had this tool created with accountants, clergy members, anybody that we associated with. We decided to compile all of the information and then place it in a tool.
Oh wow.
Our tool is about 67 items that would need to
It's
be done
real.
in the event. And most people don't realize it.
Right.
You know, that, wow, that's a lot. And that's a lot of information all at once, too. So what we do is we always say to go through it at your pace. Check off some of the things you've done, and then come back to the ones that need to be done.
Okay.
So, like I said, this is our tool, and it's very good. I mean, we go into all your needs. We talk about personal documents. Where do you have your documents? Are they in a safe deposit box? Did you
Right.
know
Are they in
that?
the bank?
Are they in the bank? If they're in a
Right.
safe deposit box in the bank, let's talk about that
Are
because
they in your house under the
COVID,
mattress?
you can't access them.
No,
Yeah.
you
If
can't.
something
Right.
happens to you on a weekend, you can't
stuck.
access them.
Right.
So let's put a lockbox at the house. Make sure it's
Yeah.
fireproof.
Oh, yeah.
Fireproof.
Yes,
Exactly.
Fireproof.
Fireproof lockboxes.
Yes.
Fire, fire.
Fire, fire.
Yes. Make sure that those documents are there. Indicate where they are. The tool is going to be left for your spouse or your loved ones. Who is going to be in charge of your finalizations?
Right.
You know, do you have a will? That's another question that we ask. Do you have a will? If you don't have a will, we give out personalized will kits that they can create their own will without the
awesome.
help
Wow.
of,
That is good because
An
a lot
attorney.
of people.
Yeah.
you know, you can, and most people don't know that you can do your own will.
Yes.
You can have it notarized,
Yes,
you can customize it.
Right here.
And that's important, especially in our community as well.
Yes.
You know, attorney fees are expensive.
Yes.
You know, and not everybody can afford that, but you can have a will.
Yeah, you
You,
can.
and most people are not aware of that. And it's important. You need to leave your wishes.
Right.
In the state of Pennsylvania, we always advise that your will does need two witnesses, and they cannot be somebody who is mentioned in the will or a beneficiary.
Right.
So that's something that most people don't know as well.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
We
of-
are getting educated, ladies, tonight.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't know that either because
Yes.
I would have had like my kids sign my will.
Right.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
And you can't.
But I mean,
You
it's
can't.
it's kind of like, wow, that's messed up. Now
You should
gotta
know
think
people's
about it.
favorite
Yeah.
color too.
Yes.
That's so like menial, but
No,
you
but it's
should know.
important.
That's gonna be
When
quite
my
a
grandmother,
conversation.
Yes.
my grandmother passed away. Well, before she passed away, I had those conversations with her. I said, Grandma, make sure if you want me to handle this, that my name is on something.
Yes.
Do it. Grandma,
Yes.
And
where,
that's-
where do you want to go? I told her, do you want to stay
Absolutely.
here or you want to go back to Mississippi? She said, I want to go back to Mississippi. So I knew I
Yes.
needed to make sure she get there. I needed
And
to know her
it's-
favorite color.
Absolutely, it's important.
true.
That's even part of our book as well. Funeral preferences. Do you want to have a service? Do you not want to have
Right.
a service? Do you want to wear your favorite dress?
Right.
You wear glasses. Do you want your
That's
glasses? My mom, are we putting on the gold?
Yeah.
I need to know.
Yeah.
You're a
Mama's
gold
going with
woman.
gold.
My husband's
Is your
mother
gold
said-
earrings going with you?
Exactly.
Put my doobie wig on.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. It's
And we
important.
did.
So, do you also like advise on living wills?
That's what it
We don't. We advise on living wills in terms of the aspect of do you have one, and
Right.
and the education process on that.
Okay.
Because most people, when I speak with them, what is that? Well, your living will is whether you're going to be resuscitated in the hospital or not,
That's
and that's important. And what's great about our tool is that it's in there as well. You can indicate do you have that and what your wishes are. I mean, this tool is so amazing. You
Yeah.
can put
Where can
down.
they get it?
You can get it by coming to see me.
Marcel, where are
Like,
you?
here's my number.
Where are you located?
It's part of my educational seminar that we meet with families. Like I said,
Okay.
we're definitely all about education. We want to just inform. Knowledge is power. And that's something that we're very big on, reaching out to the community and letting them know. Yes, one, thank you. We're going to thank you for coming in to meet with us.
Yeah.
Because we have to congratulate you for your first step, and that's walking through the door, or even booking your educational seminar with us.
Right.
Because you then decided to have the conversation.
Yes.
And it's all about starting
Yes.
the conversation.
And that's
You
what we're
know?
talking about tonight,
Absolutely.
right? That conversation.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
And those hard
where are you
conversations.
located?
Yes, very hard.
I am located, I can give you the address.
Sure.
Most of the days I'm working out of Prospect Cemetery, so it is 501 Prospect Street, and that's in East Stroudsburg. I'm literally right off the highway, off the East Stroudsburg exit, down the block from Lehigh Valley now. So literally
Okay.
right off the exit, you turn off,
Okay.
and we're right there. We also have Laurelwood Cemetery, which is on Bryant Avenue near Compton's Pancake House.
Oh.
You can tell I'm a foodie.
Yeah.
Compton's Pancake House.
And the
yes,
phone number.
Telephone number, I can give you my cell and the office because
Okay.
I'm always on 24/7.
Okay.
The office number is 570-424-0970, and the cell phone is 570-904-3700.
You would think I can't get this later, but I can.
And
Well,
again,
Well,
I'm
no, because it's going to be your job to repeat this right before we wrap up. So,
Okay.
since
you
you're
think
taking
so?
notes, my darling.
You think so?
You know, but so is your organization a franchise?
yes, we're a part of a cemetery organization called Stonemore. So
Okay.
Stonemore does own many cemeteries within the East Coast. We have some in Philly, but yes, and it's perpetually
Allentown,
funded
right?
as well, and in Allentown.
Stone
Okay.
Wall. Say it again.
Stonemore, STONMOR.
More.
Okay. The reason I was asking is because we may have people who are watching
From New York.
Absolutely.
all over the place.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if they wanted to call just for information,
Right.
Yeah.
just to find out maybe if there's somewhere near them,
Right.
or,
Exactly.
just to
Do
find
you
out.
refer if they call you?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
We can
Okay.
refer them to
Okay,
a,
you hear that, guys? You can
location
actually
near
call
you.
them.
Yes.
I will say in the state of Pennsylvania, we're probably in the greatest place. With our educational program, one of the things that we do advise is that you can pre-plan your final resting place
Right.
from space to casket. And that's something that most places don't know. In New York, you can't do a lot of pre-planning. Everything is separate. With
Yeah.
us, you can do everything from your memorial to your casket to your space, anything that you need for your final resting place there, which is a great thing in the state of Pennsylvania.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do they
Yeah.
have
He
what do
does
you call those
pets
things
too.
in the wall?
Cremation?
He does pets. I'm trying to
Mausoleums?
think
Yeah,
of
just-
Absolutely. Yes.
So I can make sure he's good, before
Yes,
I
we
go.
have a pet
have
cemetery.
Yes,
Pet
yes.
cemetery.
Pet
Wow.
cemetery in
And-
both locations.
yes.
We have
need that.
we have mausoleums.
Yes.
You know, traditionally we think mausoleum is for the elite, but we are the elite.
That's right.
That's right. It's
Um,
what you want.
Affordability, exactly.
Exactly.
If you, a
Absolutely.
lot of people don't want to be in the ground, we
My
have
grandmother-
mausoleum spaces.
She was like, I'm not going under there. Don't put me under there. And don't put me higher than the 4th floor.
And
So
even
she's
cremation spaces. Cremation is huge right now. A lot of people are doing
They do,
cremation.
Yeah.
A lot of
COVID
people are
patients were
COVID
cremated.
patients.
Yes.
And
Cremated.
people are being conscientious as well. You know, they're thinking, we're taking up a lot of space in the earth.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of this generation coming out
Yes.
too, thinking
Yes.
about climate change and all of that.
Yes.
We're being a little bit more conscientious of the earth that we live in and our spaces.
How
So cremation
sweet.
is great as well.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
nice. That is it's cool.
Scary thought for me.
It
I
is.
know.
It's a scary thought.
It's scary.
It's
I'm
not-
not
I
gonna
mean,
lie, it's scary,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have to be.
Right.
I think it's scary because we don't have the conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
we're all going to die.
Yes.
That's why
It's
not
eventually
scary
it
for
is,
me.
And if
but
you think about it,
pre-planning, I think it's a little bit like Marcel said. I think it has to be more of a subject that we need to talk more about. We are in a pandemic.
Correct.
Guys, I can't stress how many times you put that TV on and you see those numbers.
Yeah.
They're not going down.
No.
They're going up.
That's it.
So
and we're seeing it live every day.
every single
Every day,
Yes.
parents being lost,
Yes.
loved ones, husbands, you know, and it doesn't, and a lot of it's our educational program, but for me personally, there's a lot more to it of what we do. It's a personal touch.
Yes.
We're your family counselor. We meet with you from beginning to end, whether you're pre-planning or whether it's something that, you know, you had a loss.
Yeah.
And we're there to guide you. You know, we follow up with you. We check on you.
Yeah.
You know, I have some of my families that I reach out to weekly because they're going through it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I always tell
absolutely.
them, listen, if you want to call me to just shout, I'll put you on mute and we can have that conversation.
Yeah.
It's not a problem
Yeah.
because you never know. The family comes
Who
for the
needs?
funeral
Yeah.
and they're there
Mm-hmm.
and they go to dinner or they go to a meal afterwards and then they leave.
And that's it.
And
It's over.
those are the people that are left behind. And that's what we're
Yes.
talking about, the seniors,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
couples who are together over 50 years, lifetimes. They're
Lifetime.
not knowing what their next steps are.
Exactly.
And it's my
See,
job.
That's more
That's
of
my place to
fears.
come in.
I'm not afraid of the death. I'm not afraid of the fact that we're all going to go and my family, you know, people are going to die and whoever they are, they are. I'm not afraid of any of that. I'm not afraid, but I know the hurt. I've been through a lot of deaths
Yeah.
already.
So have us.
I've been through a lot of ish. So I know, you know, what the pain is. And, all that. And that's you know, you get over it. Not over it, but you get through it.
You learn how to
You get
deal with
through
it.
And you learn how to
Yes.
deal with it.
The pain's
Right.
always there, but
It's always
you
there.
learn how to cope with
Right.
it. And that's a lot of.
'Cause
And I'm gonna be real. Since Marcelino's been working there, I'm gonna be real. I tell my mother, if you talk about that, I'm gonna leave the table, right? Because she's always talking about, okay, we're gonna have to talk. No, mom, we don't want to talk about that. But now, as we're getting older, now I'm a grandma,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking, okay, my kids are getting older
Yeah.
and stuff. Never thought about pre-planning. Never thought about educating myself enough to know
Yeah.
that, you know what, this has to be done.
Talked about.
Yes.
It has to be talked about.
Even if you don't do anything.
Right.
You
It
gotta
has
talk
to be
about
talked
it.
about.
Absolutely.
And because Marcel's in this this business, which I told him he was going to be fantastic.
That's great.
Encouragement team over here.
Yeah.
I think compassion that he comes with makes it all so much easier.
And you know your voice to the ears of the people who you want to take care of you is important. My daughter tells me all the time, I don't know what I'm
Absolutely.
going to do. If you go, I said, stop.
Yes.
You do know what you're gonna do.
You
'Cause
gonna
I
handle
said
it.
to you
That's right.
that you cannot and will not
That's
fall
right.
apart because I'm not here anymore.
Exactly.
That's why I raised you to take care of yourself and your kids.
Right.
That's
Stop
right.
bringing them kids over here. Don't bring them here.
Yeah,
Take
no.
care of yourself. But that's why I tell her. I
Exactly.
tell her you have to learn how to stand on your own for real, for real. That's not.
Absolutely.
That's not.
Yep.
Fake thing. You have to because once I'm gone, you got to do it.
That's right.
I don't have my mother. I don't have my father. My husband doesn't have his mother. My husband doesn't have his father. So guess what? We don't have anybody to go to, and we're
Right.
still here.
That's
We're
right.
still here, and we take care of y'all.
That's
so
right.
when I'm gone, you're gonna take care of yours.
That's right.
So we do that.
And like for food for thought, I always put things in analogies. We do prep for a lot of different things.
Yes.
So you think about it. We have car insurance
Mm-hmm.
in the event of getting into an accident.
That's
Yeah.
right.
We have health insurance in case we need to go to the hospital.
Right.
We have life insurance. Life insurance to take
You
care
know.
of our living that we leave
Right,
behind.
right.
Exactly.
We have what other insurance? House and homeowners insurance or renters insurance
Renters insurance.
in
And-
case of a fire.
That's correct.
So
401ks,
401ks.
and retirement funds and vacation funds.
Yes.
Annuities.
Please don't forget the
Exactly.
vacation fund.
Think
Thank
about
you.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
think
what
about
I said.
all that
Vacation
we
fund is very
think
Yeah.
about.
important, okay?
Exactly.
We prepare a lot for emergencies. Just the funniest thing, we stock our refrigerator with milk, eggs, and bread in a snowstorm.
Every time
Yes.
they say, and I said, what are we going to do?
And
We're
toilet
gonna
paper.
French
And
toast.
toilet paper in this
paper,
pandemic.
paper
French
towels.
toast.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to still be out there cooking something.
Even with the
Okay?
lights go out, we're
Yeah.
still gonna have French toast.
We're still gonna
Yes,
have French
exactly.
toast. So why not
Yeah.
prepare for a loss?
That's
Yes.
correct.
This
That's
is
We
correct.
prepare for everything else in life.
That's correct.
Right.
But because, again, we don't have the conversations.
That's correct.
Yes,
Wow.
Marcelino, you got it
Marcelino,
right.
you have
Enlightened us, right?
no, very much
Very
so,
much.
and given a new perspective
Yes.
to that conversation.
Thank you.
You know, because I don't want to have it.
I know.
You gonna put them big
My-
girl panties on and
My
have it.
dad is 80, and he every time I go over there, he like, come here, girl, let me show you. Let me show you something. I'm gonna tell you where this is at and where that is at.
Yeah.
They
And
do that. They
and
do
it
do
was
that.
it
Yeah,
was like when
sure.
he first did it, I was kind of like, you know something I don't know? What?
Yeah.
You know, tell
Yeah.
me. And he's like, no, it's not that I know something you don't know, but there are things you need to know.
Correct.
Yes.
That's correct.
You need to know, because if you don't know,
What's gonna happen to me when I go?
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
right.
And it's
I
real.
can't
It's real.
tell you nothing after the fact.
Right.
So you need to know now,
Exactly.
and so I had to take a different look at it, and it kind of gave me a little bit of a comfort
To know.
knowing that he made his arrangements the way he wants them.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
It takes that
and I
load
don't
off.
have to guess. It takes the
Does.
guesswork out of, well, would he want me to do this or
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
that? And
Um,
that makes it that much harder.
Yes, it does.
And I told my grandmother that. I was like, Grandma, you better tell me, because you ain't even gonna know.
Yeah.
I said, you better tell me, and I don't want you coming back and haunting me.
Exactly.
So, let me know so I can do it right.
Gotcha.
And I did it right.
Our
So,
sales manager talks about it all the time. She's a twin. When her mom passed, her mom was one of those that went to everybody's funeral. She visited everybody's wake. She was out there in her community. When it came time to her, she had always told them, I have this notated in the gray box. Go look for it. When they went to the gray box and found it, her wishes were closed casket, view me very shortly. I don't want a big thing.
yeah. Wow.
And you would never know because she,
Went
as
to
she shared the
everyone
story with
else's.
me, she went to everybody else's.
Yeah.
Right.
So sometimes our perspective is not what their wishes are.
This is
That's why it's
true.
important
This
to
is
leave
true.
those wishes.
Right.
Because, like you said, it takes the guesswork off.
Exactly.
I want this done. It's so much easier because for me, what we fail to think about in our own daily life is that this is not about us. It's about the people we're leaving behind.
It's
That's
Yeah.
correct.
So it's the burden and the hurt that we're leaving on our loved ones behind.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if we can alleviate and make it easier for them, why not?
Right.
So
Why
I'm gonna
not?
make
So that
my
they can grieve.
appointment to have my training and my thing.
Exactly.
I will
Yes.
be calling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
I got your number in my phone.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You and I will be having lunch next week.
Yeah.
That's fine.
No, and I mean seriously though,
This was
I
great.
will need to sit down and have that conversation with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because again, I'm 50.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm 50. And unfortunately, the truth is, I'm on that ladder. You know, like I'm
Girl,
getting
I'm
up there.
5 ladder steps up from you. We all right. We all right.
You know, so well, we ran a little bit over, but I think it was 5
Sorry,
additional
Kadriana.
minutes.
Sorry.
5 additional minutes, just very much needed. I want to thank everybody who came out tonight. Cynthia Campbell, I think we lost her a little bit in the show, but thank you so much. For your information on life insurance, and
Absolutely,
medical
yes.
insurance, and
Healthcare
everything like
awareness,
that.
yes.
Kimberly, thank you for making yourself available to the community for us to have our paperwork in order and
Absolutely.
all the things that we're going to need to get in order so that we can do the transition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we
It's like a
kinda-
little
we're
circle.
working, we're
Yeah,
circling it.
so
We're
that we
circling it.
can do the transition smoothly.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And make it less difficult on our families. So I definitely, want to thank y'all and, tell y'all I love y'all for coming out and sharing this information with us, because you'd be surprised how many people do not have it. They do not know. They're scared to ask. They think they can't
Absolutely.
afford it.
Yeah.
And
Right.
they just don't want to talk about it.
Exactly.
And because we're a team, I want to thank you as well.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
thank you.
And we
Thank
want
you
to
for
thank
having
you for
for
having
having
these
us.
conversations, for
Yes.
inviting us to have these
Absolutely.
conversations.
Listen,
Yes.
part of empowering yourself is having those conversations
Absolutely.
that you don't want to have.
Absolutely.
But I wouldn't be doing my job, trying to empower other
women.
women if I don't put the information out
Absolutely.
there.
And thank you for all you do for the community as well.
Thank
Yes,
you.
you
You
do.
are out
Thank
there,
you.
all
Yes.
of you,
Oh
doing
my God.
so much
I
for the
love you
community.
guys. I love
I've
volunteering.
had the
to be
pleasure
with
of being
you.
with you
It's
guys
fun,
to do
right?
it. I
It's
love
fun.
it.
This is me.
We've been
That's
having a
just
good
us.
time.
We have a great time.
Like I
We
said,
be eating in the car.
So-
I needed to
anymore,
feed
not
my
anymore.
soul, and
Yes.
you're helping
There
that.
you go.
Yes.
So, Cafe, we're going to say goodnight. Thank you for joining us once again. It's been a wonderful Thursday night at the
Yes,
cafe
it's
and
been
everything. Applause to all of you. I hope you have been enriched and fulfilled just as I have. And we look forward to seeing you back in the cafe next Thursday for another Cafe Conversations with Bella Reese and Juicy. We love you.
And
Be
we
safe.
will
Be
post
safe.
all
Be
the
safe.
information. So go to our page and you'll see all the information.
Wear
Yes.
masks and make sure we're washing our hands.
There
Yes,
you
There
go.
it ain't
Yes.
over.
Yes.
No.
You guys have a great night.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
night.